total value promise.
From the award-winning quality of Buick.
I promise the serenity of a quiet-tuned interior.
The 2006 LaCrosse CX delivers an estimated 30 miles per gallon highway, under 22.1 after all applicable offers. The 06 Rendezvous CX with an estimated 26 miles per gallon highway, around 24.8 after all applicable offers.
I promise to stand behind your Buick
with our 4-year, 50,000-mile new vehicle warranty.
See your Buick dealer.
Stop. Don't be fooled by Prop 75. To read it, you'd think it was written to help public workers, which is just what the governor wants you to believe. But the law already protects public workers, so they don't have to contribute to politics they oppose. So what's 75 really about? The Sacramento Bee calls it a simple power play, restricting the voice of public workers, but not Arnold's corporate donors. Put the brakes on Arnold's sneaky power play. Vote no on 75.
You're connected to San Diego's local news leader with Carol LeBeau and Leanne Kim. This is 10 News Live at 5:30.
The document is a response document to a pandemic. That means we're in a very bad situation.
Months of planning for the worst-case scenario, health officials now have a step-by-step response in the event of an outbreak of avian flu. The avian, or so-called bird flu, has killed more than 60 people, mostly in Asia, but it could be spreading. Good evening, I'm Carol LeBeau.
And I'm Hal Clement. A parrot may have died from the virus in London, and health authorities in the Ural Mountains of Russia are looking at 7 possible cases there. So, how is San Diego prepared? 10 News reporter Bob Lawrence is here with the story. Bob?
Well, the good news is that for now, the virus spreads only when people come in contact with infected birds. But what has health authorities worried is if the virus mutates so that it passes human to human. Doctors are literally front line. Every patient suffering from influenza is tested now to see if avian flu shows up. And if it does, the county plans to open this playbook on how to deal with it.
The document is a response document to a pandemic. That means we're in a very bad situation across the globe.
It is, says Bowen, a plan for a worst-case scenario. Imagine thousands of people sick. The plan calls for hospitals to set up isolation wards. And if it gets worse, quarantines in the city could be imposed.
You might not have people going to school, different work venues might have to change. Large social gatherings would be reduced until we get the vaccine.
And that's what this document is trying to address, that time between when the strain becomes known and a vaccine can be produced. The dilemma for drug manufacturers is that no one knows what form the virus is going to take.
If we pick the wrong pathogen.
And we apologize for some of those audio problems, but there is the problem there. No one knows which form this is going to take, if in fact it will mutate, that is, be able to pass human to human. As you just saw, hopefully you saw it, but you didn't hear it too well, we apologize for that. The county does have a plan in place, but this is, as Health and Human Services Secretary Mike Leavitt said today, no reason to doubt that migrating birds won't continue to spread the disease. So the worry is, right, it can mutate into a form, passes human to human, right. They don't have a vaccine ready,
right.
Then we have a pandemic on our hands.
And people in weakened states are going to be the most vulnerable.
As they are with any flu.
Exactly.
This, however, is a different strain, and that's what has everyone worried. So there is a plan in place. That's the good news.
That is. All right, Bob, thank you. The 2-year investigation into who blew a CIA agent's cover resulted in the indictment of a top White House official today. I. Lewis Scooter Libby, the vice president's chief of staff, resigned shortly before the charges were announced. He faces 30 years in prison.
The indictment charges 1 count of obstruction of justice to the federal grand jury, 2 counts of perjury, and 2 counts of false statements.
Libby is accused of lying to FBI agents and lying under oath to a grand jury. The investigation was sparked by the leak of CIA operative Valerie Plame's name to reporters. Her husband is former Ambassador Joseph Wilson. The president's top political strategist Karl Rove was not named in the indictment.
We're learning more tonight about the man killed by police after a running gun battle yesterday. San Diego police officials said today a thorough investigation is being conducted into the shooting that left 31-year-old Santinos Juarez dead. The 9 officers who fired shots are on administrative duties tonight. That's standard. Police say Juarez was wanted for robbery. During the chase, he fired a handgun at pursuing officers 11 times. None of the officers was injured. Convicted murderer Eric Anderson was sentenced to death this afternoon for the robbery and shooting death of Cajon Speedway owner Stephen Brucker. 10 News reporter Kim Edwards was at the El Cajon courthouse and joins us from the newsroom with more on the story. Kim?
Well, 31-year-old Eric Anderson, killed when he was convicted last July. Back then, Anderson raged at the jurors, telling them he was innocent. He challenged them to sentence him to death. Today, that wish came true. Judge Lance Lewis held up the jury's recommendation sentencing Anderson to execution at San Quentin. Anderson was convicted of shooting and killing Stephen Brucker in April of 2003. More than 800 people turned out for his funeral. Hundreds more joined in a rally at Brucker's Cajon Speedway. Anderson shot Brucker in the doorway of his home, a bullet through the heart. His wife, Bonnie, today vowed that Anderson will not get the best of her.
Because he can't take away my memories. He can't take away my life. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of changing my life for him.
The actual day of execution has yet to be set, but keep in mind that this is a death penalty case, so there's an automatic appeal to the state Supreme Court. We'll hear much more from friends and family coming up on 10 News Live at 6:30. In the newsroom, I'm Kim Edwards.
All right, Kim, thanks. Gas prices still high, but going down.
And straight ahead, what you're paying now, how it compares to last year, and what's causing the prices to dip.
Following Katrina and other hurricanes, oil companies report record-breaking profits. But how is this possible? I'm Mike Deneau. That story coming right up.
What will it take to fix San Diego's trash problem? 10 News looks for answers. Sunday at 11 on 10 News.
Tonight, a 2020 exclusive with the president. No, this president, Gina Davis. Her real life, no spin.